Hey girl, hey.
Hey,
There's my girls. How
What's
y'all
up?
doing? It's good.
awesome.
It's
We're
great
doing
seeing your
okay.
faces. Yeah.
Doing
Hanging
our
in there.
hanging and maintaining, trying to make it through another day.
You know, this coronavirus is close to slavery. What I heard.
That's
I
what I've
heard
You know,
now.
that's the
we'll talk about
craziest crap I've ever heard.
we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that in a minute. It's so good to see your faces. I know we took off last week, but we are back. It's the Hey Girl Hey podcast. I am your radio chick, Kiki Brown.
And I am the chatter chick, LaShawn Tipton.
And I'm y'all millennial, Jerry Tipton. Hey y'all.
Good to be back.
Oh my Lord.
It was crazy because last week I was just like, we needed a break. It was like
Yeah.
we needed a break. And the only thing basically was to talk about was the Kardashians being canceled. But then they're not really being canceled because then they're supposed to be on Netflix. I was like, okay, Jesus,
Yeah.
Uh,
we need to
yeah.
just take a day. Let's just take a day because I
All the
can't.
shows are going on Netflix. Yeah.
Everything.
I needed a break. I needed to get like things in order with my life,
Yeah.
all the new great things that are happening and the great positive people. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to know the tea, man. I don't have no tea, but I got something to sip on.
Uh,
Uh-uh. I don't know what
oh,
you're
Uh,
on.
so hopefully we'll get into that in the second half. First half, we're just gonna cover a couple of hot topics. Um, so the big news broke about Cardi B and Offset. You know, I don't want to get into Cardi B and Offset, but just the fact that the whole WAP deal.
mm,
I don't cook, I don't clean, or whatever she say.
yeah.
The same thing with Niecy Nash talking about a BJ a day will keep the divorce lawyer away.
Right.
I guess the whopping ain't popping.
You know what? Someone who you are. And I was on Facebook today. I was watching this guy's Facebook Live, and he talked about it. He's one of those, guys who give those opinion about
Mm-hmm.
relationships like that. One of those influencers. And it doesn't matter who you are. Cardi B got a #1 song out right now on Billboard, successful, a Grammy award winner. It doesn't matter who you are. A man is going to cheat. He's going to cheat. It's unfortunate. The relationship was still fresh. They only been married 3 years. Um, and a lot of what I didn't like was a lot of people were saying, going back to the WAP song, oh,
Mm-hmm.
you thought you had that good, that ain't keep a man and all this other stuff. And like, I get it, but
That's what happens when you're in the public eye, when you
yeah,
put your business out there. But they
I,
don't understand it's just entertainment. It's
it's
just a
entertainment.
song.
Yeah, it's not their business.
It's just
Yeah, it's true.
like, don't tie it into her real life, like,
Mm-hmm.
it did, and she divorced him, they like he divorced her because she didn't cook
Mm-hmm.
and what I mean, like, so it's from what, and then also let's be reminded, she filed for divorce before, not too long after they got married, and that's when he came out and apologized to her on one of her shows, and they tried
Mm-hmm.
to reconcile, make it work, but the problems were still there, obviously, and it sounds like she's had enough. And it sucks because, like I said, the relationship was still fresh. They were married, they have a daughter together, but when you've had enough, and she's obviously had enough. And divorces, they suck, like they say it's equivalent to a death. I swear that's what they say.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it, but she'll be okay. She's Cardi B, she's successful, she'll be all right. It's just, maybe she just gotta like reevaluate some things and just really focus on herself for her career and her daughter. So
Hmm.
Chatter chick.
About Cardi B.
Or
Turn my
just
mic off.
the subject in general
Right.
about when you publicly brag, and I know that for this particular case it was entertainment.
right.
It's a song, it's something that it happens. The same thing with Beyonce. I mean, Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce.
Yeah.
Who cheats on Beyonce? Beyonce is a human being, she's a female. And if
Ali
there's
did.
a female if
She
there's a
got
female out there that's like, I wonder what I could do to get you to turn your back on this queen real quick. If I mean, all we could do, if you be quiet, let me give you like 5,000. Let me give you like 25,000. You sit on my lap and do what you do, and we ain't got the, you know what I mean? And there's females after that's like, all right, cool, just don't stop them checks.
Yeah. My
Yeah.
thing,
And as soon as you stop them checks,
I just feel like this. If they cheat, if they lie, they really are not worth your time. I can honestly say that the men in my past, if you cheated, if you lied on me, really, don't call me. I mean, I forgive you because I'm done with you, but don't call me. You really weren't worth my time. And so everybody gives this whole statement, everybody gets cheated on, Some people really don't. Some people are the cheater. Beyonce could be the cheater. How all relationships don't end in cheating, but I think if you're lying in a relationship and you can't be straight, you're prone to do some cheating and do some other thing. But if they did that and you lost them, then that's a win. That's the gain. You win your sanity. You win your happiness.
Right.
They weren't really worth it. And when I think about like people from my past, I'm like, it was fun, but was he worth it?
I honestly believe it's a weakness that was filling a void. If there was a weakness, for women, there's emotional. For men, it's physical. If there's something that, we don't know what they're like. We don't know what these couples are like at home. Right. You're supposed to smile in pictures. So we don't know. We don't know what Cardi B or Beyonce are like, when they're at home and once the cameras and the makeup is off and the wigs are hung up. We have no idea. They could be bitches. They could be, like, I'm not giving you nothing. I'm Beyonce, hair flip. Like nobody, you know what I'm saying? But then when they need, men need that attention too. And I'm not saying that this is the case because it was never revealed on what the reason was why they were divorced, and it's their business. But we got to look at both things. When you're in a relationship, both have to play a role, and I'm guilty of it too. Sometimes life just gets in the way, and you get tired and you're overwhelmed, and you don't feel like you don't want to. But you got to be careful because you leave that person feeling neglected. That person, if that person is not strong enough to withstand any of the temptations and distractions, you're going to have a situation similar to this one, and that's not something that you want. I'm not saying that you got to stop being yourself or even lose yourself so that you can please your partner. Not that, but understand that you're on a team. It's a team thing. It's supposed to be you and them, and you gotta, I don't know,
I get it,
but I can talk crap all I want and still.
This right here is some, I think for celebrities, stories like this are media catching. And it gets people to talk and it keeps them relevant. So they're probably at home going, cha-ching, cha-ching. Did you see us on TMZ? They're probably doing all this different stuff.
Oh, God, I hope not.
Oh, yeah. Because some people, this stuff right here, I mean, some people will do anything to make money. Right. Yeah. This is a money stunt, and I hate to say some people will throw their marriages, their relationship, their sanity, everything out there and throw themselves under the bus just to get $1. So we're talking about it. It became news to them, and
it'll be gone tomorrow.
It'll be, and they're probably really happy together. They're probably like laughing and like, did you see that? And okay, so are you going to do the interview with so and so? Are you going to do the interview with so and so? How much could we get from this? How much? And their bag is growing larger and larger because of this. Because I mean, what?
I don't see that with them. I see that with Tamar and David. I see them doing that, them being more of a clickbait relationship. Well, because they're not as, Tamar's kind of gone down, and I love Tamar, but I feel like she's kind of gone down on the celebrity poll. Well, gone down.
She did a really great. I hope it wasn't a stunt, and I hope that I'm just going to label it as a stunt because we're lack of words. But she did a really great like media stunt in the beginning. If this were a stunt, I think it worked out well in her favor.
But they attempted suicide?
Yeah, in the beginning. Okay, like that attempt and putting it out there like that. You know what I mean? Because what are people doing now? They're watching her show and they're trying to see where she's going and what was the attempt to it. I bet you she had like #1 viewers on that first show. And
that's sad. That tells you about society, that we would rather be engaged on something so toxic and traumatic and sad versus something that's so uplifting.
That's sad. And I would I've even looked at the show, and I would seem like she seems like she's a pretty sincere person. But if she had someone in her ear and, okay, let's put this out here, this happened, and you're about to do the show. I mean, it really gets you good followers.
The show is on TV. I didn't think TV was.
Yeah, she's on there. It's Tamar Get Your Life. Yeah, I've seen it. I watched a couple episodes, and I was like, oh, okay.
She's not a bad person. I've met her. She's a sweetheart. But sometimes I feel like she grabs a victim card. She starts something, but then say, I didn't know, or I didn't do it. And it's just like, pick a team. You don't have to do that. You don't have to. But
when people have shows and they have their whole family involved in it, from your mother to your father to their whole situation, and nothing is sacred anymore with the family, you would put everything out there that you can go.
I'm glad you brought that up, Sean, because the Kardashians are blaming Kanye West for canceling their show, and not to talk about the Kardashians because they're going to be fine, but to talk about Kanye West and the crap what in the world? Is he a couple hugs short? Just,
he did what they did.
But he was kicked off recently. Just switching gears, he was recently kicked off. We were talking about family reality show and stuff like that. It made me think about the Kardashians. So it made me think about Kanye West. But recently, Kanye West was in the news about his Twitter rants, and he was going up against. He said the NFL and the entertainment, the music industry are slaves. He called them slaves. Then he gave the the email address or the phone number to Forbes magazine's editor. He put that out there on Twitter, which violated their policy because you're not supposed to do that. Twitter called it doxing. So they suspended him for 12 hours.
Only 12 hours?
Bad.
Yeah.
Bad con. You bad con.
That's all that was.
Get in timeout. You go in timeout.
They need him and his followers. They're not going to get rid of him. They need that. They need that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Then he said something about J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar owing him an apology about something, and then tried to switch it on, and he was the Moses or something like that.
I have a question. Where's Joel Osteen?
Is that his pastor?
Where's Joel? Where's Joel? Joel.
Yeah, well,
where you at, Joel?
Yeah.
Where's the smiling preacher at?
Maybe Joel's trying to call her, but what it is that Kanye ain't picking up.
Joel is staying far, far away. He was like,
yeah,
he put that church finger up.
Yeah, you gotta. I'm gonna leave here. This is the usher finger. The thing is, that's so bad. Yeah,
I bet you it's true though.
I think this is the time that those preachers.
It's true.
It's funny. It's sad and it's funny, but it's this time that these preachers that that know him and that should reach out to him. They probably are, but
I hope so.
All of them. He really do need to talk to him. But if you're not picking up the phone, I mean, Jesus is on the main line. I don't even think Kanye's picking up for him.
Why didn't I see that coming? I knew.
He's just not picking up the phone.
I knew it was coming.
Did you know that? He's just not picking up the phone. He ain't even picking it up for Jesus.
I don't want to be bothered.
That ain't good when you can't pick up. Know. That's like your mama calling you and then Jesus calling you. You can't pick up your mama's phone.
You can't. Yeah, he ain't picking it up for Jesus. So, Joel Osteen and they don't have a chance. The boy has some issues, and I think he's going through like a manic state right now.
Yeah,
man. Look, give me that Grammy. Don't pee on the Grammy. Give me the Grammy. I'll take it. At least sell it. Sell the Grammy if you don't want it. Give it to your kids. Yeah. What are you doing? Why would you pee on it?
I didn't read that.
He peed. It was in the toilet and he peed on. Well, they didn't show him peeing. It just showed water on it. It could have just been water. It was symbolic. It was pissing on the Grammy.
Who took it out the toilet?
He did. Ain't nobody home.
It's one of those things. You be like, all right, that's good. I'm gonna get that one out.
Easily.
He has,
but I don't think that 12 hours is enough. I think that he should be banned until he can write an essay and write an essay to the Twitter followers that says, "I promise, I will be a good Kanye, and I will not, And I think they should ban him. But you can't put him on suspension and not put other people on suspension who are just as bad on social media.
Mm-hmm.
See, I don't know. I don't too much do social media.
We know.
Not putting all my business out there.
We know. You still on MySpace.
I
Anyway.
was really, I just laugh when people put stuff out there. I'm like, wow.
On MySpace,
I'm on MySpace.
She's still
Black
on MySpace.
Planet, all that stuff.
Ain't nobody in her top 5 but her.
I confess, it's me.
All right. Earlier, we talked about how this whole COVID-19 lockdown, somebody said it was compared to slavery. Here is the exact quote from Attorney General Barr, who stirred such a controversy. I'm just like, who is this dude, and why is he
Bill
working?
Barr.
Why is he working? Bill Barr. So he said, the staying at home order is like house arrest. Other than slavery, which was a different kind of restraint, this is the greatest intrusion on civil liberties in American history. How would he know?
Yeah. And a different kind of restraint.
Who he asked? Ben Carson, how you know, bro? How you know?
Yeah.
How you know?
It's just not even funny. Like, it's so...
I get it. Go ahead. Because I'm gonna sip. Go ahead.
Finish.
Yeah.
It's disturbing. Like,
yeah, when you say
we were beaten and killed, like raped,
hung,
all of that stuff. There's no way. No way. In that hot cotton picking fields for hours.
Wish you had a home. Slaves wish they had a home.
Cotton. If you were the one, there was other people, there was other things they was doing now. But I mean, just the fact that to relate that, and I was watching him and I was like, okay, I think what he was trying to say is that all of it is an inconvenience. Yes, slavery was a major inconvenience, but
then just say.
And I think last time we talked, there's an etiquette when you're talking about Black lives.
Yeah.
There is an etiquette, and I think that he was foul in using the etiquette. He was not using etiquette properly. Do not speak for me. Do not speak for my ancestors. Do not speak on something you cannot relate to. And if you can relate to it, then it's not on the side that I need you to relate to. Right. It has you don't relate to this story. So please don't speak for me and my ancestors.
Yeah. See, so
you know what I'm saying?
He's so far removed from this because of his privilege, and that he would say things like that. Like, he wouldn't say it's like the Holocaust. He wouldn't say something like that. He would never use that because
you can't do that. You know how many, and please correct
me. I don't want to offend. He knows.
I don't want to be offensive when I say this, LaShawn. There are so many. Maybe I don't want to say it.
Well, don't say
who
it.
are in charge.
Yes.
And who handle the money. So you're going to offend people if you say that, if you use that reference. So do you know what I'm saying?
Right. And you know what camp this guy's from, where Black lives doesn't matter. So he would use something when he would say that slavery is an inconvenience and it's a restraint. It wasn't a restraint. I mean, this was a lifestyle that they opposed on people. Right. So, but he would never use that and say that and say it was a Holocaust. He would never use that against certain people. But the camp that he's in doesn't believe that Black lives matter. So, so when you say stuff like this, you gotta look a little bit deeper into that. He knew exactly what he was saying, and that's just not cool. It's just not cool.
I was watching the news with the Mister, and people were just so upset about sports and just talking about COVID-19 and just how inconveniencing this whole pandemic is. Folks are, judges considered the Governor Tom Wolf using his power as unconstitutional, and he's fighting it. But he's just like, look, I'm trying to save your life. Me, if I were the governor, I'd be like, you know what? Go ahead and take your little stink ass outside. If you want to play, go ahead and play outside. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You cannot say it was COVID-19. I'm not covering your health insurance.
Yeah.
I'm not paying for your time off. I'm not doing it, because by choice, if you check this box that by choice you are saying you want to live your life the way you want to without any restrictions. You are saying that you don't care about any of the warnings, any of the policies, any of the guidelines. And because of that, you know what? Go ahead. You can go play outside. Go ahead. Your kids can go back to school. no, go ahead. No problem. You can eat at a crowded restaurant if you want to. Yep, go ahead. But if you get sick, if you sneeze, if you cough, if you blink, if you twitch, don't you come calling me. Don't you come calling me, because I tried to tell you.
Right.
I tried to tell you. But folks are inconvenienced.
Yeah.
It's an inconvenience right now. Like slavery. I feel like a slave.
It's amazing when people say stuff like that. You know, like I'm like, where do you get your analogy? Like, where does one meet with the other?
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't even add up. It doesn't even make two. It doesn't even add up. But you know, I guess ignorant, you know, it's ignorance. It's not knowing. I would love for these people who are in position to make the decisions over our lives, that tell us how we're supposed to live our life, to actually live our lives. To trade. I would love a swap. I would love for Attorney General Bill Barr to come and live in my house and work my job, and have to go to the ATM to get lunch money and fill up gas in my Kia Forte, and live the life that I live, or live the life that my mother lives, or live the life that my in-laws live. Like, just live that type, live our life for 1 week and see how you like it, and see if it's still slavery, and see if you're inconvenienced.
But to have his life, you may have to sell your soul and do some other things. I don't want to trade. I don't want to trade.
Okay, I don't want to trade. I'd rather just do it.
No
Don't
trade.
I'm gonna watch you.
Yeah.
You sit on the couch and sit on the love seat.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. Over 6.8 million people have tested positive, or COVID cases. It's been on record, confirmed in the U.S. and 201,000 deaths have been recorded.
Yeah.
According to The Hill.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Crazy.
It's a lot of people.
We just want to be able to watch my kids play a football game. I want to be able to watch my son play football.
But do you want to take the chance?
You know,
my son can play. Let my son play.
Yeah, you know what, and what makes it so hard is that the stories are so conflicting, and the president makes it even worse. Yeah, because he'll say something. I mean, why would the head of the CDC say that you have to wear a mask, and he comes on and he says, "No,
he's lying. He's wrong."
And then everybody changes their mind to go with the president, and people are going against wearing masks and all this. And why do we have to wear masks? And it's just, and I heard people say, I heard people say this is just like the flu. You know, this is but the flu hasn't taken out as many people.
People are not 201,000 people have not died from the flu
in like a couple months.
Here, and I was saying this. There's no what's the name? There's no
vaccine.
Vaccine, that's it. There's no vaccine. This has not happened in our time. This has never happened in our time.
Yeah.
So when the pandemic happened, I can't even tell you, I don't have a book in front of me, but it was so long ago that those people that live that aren't here, or they're very, very old. Okay. So right now, this is a new pandemic that they did not even, their damn welfare system or the unemployment system is not even up to date. It's still the same. So to expect a vaccine right now and just be okay with it. Oh yeah, we got a vaccine. It's going to come out in November. Huh?
Right.
We've been dealing with this thing since March.
I think
because it's election season now, we got a vaccine.
Yeah, because you know who, because I hate to even say his name, but you know who would probably, because he's a businessman and not a very good one at that, will probably say, listen, if you all elect me, I will put out the vaccine. You know, but he'll probably do it the day before it's time to go to the polls. And there's people that follow him because this man has, like, I hate to say it, it's like a cult like following, and they follow what he says. I mean, because if you see people drinking Lysol, whenever Lysol has had on their label for years, they've been in business for years before we were even born, 60, 70, 100 years. Do not drink. And as soon as he gets out there and says, you just take a little bit of Lysol and it's good for you, and people start drinking, and you hear about emergency rooms, that's a cult, that's a following. People follow stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised that if he held that back and people would go, well, he said it, why not? Let's vote for him because that's how this COVID's going to get cured and all this other stuff. But these are people that believe also, like him, that it's going to go away.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's
just going to just disappear.
It's going to disappear. It's going to be like the hurt effect. It comes out and then it goes.
And it goes.
And so they even conflict their own stories, his followers. Like, it's going to disappear, but if he brings out the vaccine, we're going to take it. But if we take, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, the United States is looking like real crazy it comes to the person in charge right now. Hate to say
I forget what was the name of the show that I saw on Netflix, and it was oh crap, I can't remember. It was a documentary on Netflix. We have less than 4 minutes. That profiled Black Republicans. I can't remember the name of it. And what was the name of the show? Anyway, I encourage you to watch it. Just if you have to watch it for poops and giggles, then fine. But when I watched it, I was just like, huh? It made me think, wait, am I tripping? What's wrong? Like, Herman Cain was on it. And they were just talking about, like, originally they were, and I know this is not a political platform, but the Republicans was more Black.
Yeah.
The Blacks were in support of the Republican Party. And then the KKK, you know what? I don't even know why I started this conversation because I don't have a lot of information and I don't want to be wrong. But man, but we were talking about this and it made me think about that Netflix documentary based on the Republicans. I'll see if I can find it. We're gonna take a quick break, but we're gonna get into feeling guilty being a boss bee.
Oh yeah.
Being a boss bee. Feeling guilty about it. If we feel guilty, I'm sure LaShawn does not feel guilty about it. So she confirmed, not at all. But we're going to take a quick break. It is the Hey podcast on Urban Media Today. Hold tight.